Hello everybody, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to have some further exercise about rhythm. As we learned, rhythm is one of the important suprasegmental features that helps the speaker to sound natural. Well, to produce the correct rhythm, we need to know both the word stress and content words versus function words. All right, here is a sentence. In this sentence, you see 6 content words. The other words are function words. Take your time and read this sentence. Well, let's do it together. I see an apple and an orange on the table at the corner of the room. Once again. I see an apple and an orange on the table at the corner of the room. Good. As you noticed, I stress the content words, and they are louder and clear to be understood. All right. Rhythm is defined as the time interval between the stressed and unstressed syllables. Therefore, not only the sentences, but also single words that usually consist of 2, 3, or more syllables can have rhythm. You can see an example of a single word on the left side and a sentence on the right side. These two have the same rhythm because they consist of the same number of syllables, and the place of stressed syllable is on the last part of the utterances. Let's read them. Interact. It's a fact. It was funny, wasn't it? Interact. It's a fact. Dub dub dub. Dub dub dub. Let's go and have some further exercise similar to this one. All right. Let's read them together. Interact. Here's your hat. Interact. Where's my snack? Committee. She's pretty. Committee is tricky. Committee is witty. Entertain. I've been paid. Entertain. That's insane. Entertain. Let me explain. Well, good. You can pause the video and go back and watch it again. Great. So let's get into a little bit more complex exercises about rhythm. Here you see 4 sentences. Take your time and read them. Try to distinguish the function words and content words in each single sentence. Then read them aloud. First, take your time. Well, the first one. Her father cleaned the basement. I didn't want to leave her. He hasn't even tried it. They need some new pajamas. Let's do them all again. Her father cleaned the basement. I didn't want to leave her. He hasn't even tried it. They need some new pajamas. Well, let's go and try a longer sentence. Take your time, and then when you're ready, we'll read it together. Let's read it. I wanted to go out of town for the weekend, but the traffic on the highway was insane. Let's do it again. I wanted to go out of town for the weekend, but the traffic on the highway was insane. Well, practice makes perfect. Let's try another sentence. This sentence is mentioned by Steve Jobs. So this is something that I've taken from the YouTube video produced by Kim, a famous pronunciation teacher. So the credit for this slide goes to her. But it is a really good example to serve our purpose of learning rhythm. I would like we all see this sentence. Well, take your time and read it, and once you're ready, we can read it together. Well, let's do it. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So if you see the word back takes more stress, I think you could pick up on the level of the stress. The reason is that looking back is a phrasal verb, and as we learned in our previous video, uh, compound verbs like looking back take a stress on the second word, on the last part. So let's do it again. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And wow, this one is longer than the previous ones, but it is worth practicing this quote from Barack Obama. So there are many things that we can remember about our lesson of rhythm. Let's practice that together. First, take your time, read the whole statement, and then we will read uh, them line by line and discuss why the words take stress. Well, before I read it, I need to remind you of something important. Um, when we're learning the distinction between content words and function words, we understood that um, negatives take stress. So if you see the first line, for example, didn't become, they all take stress because become is the main verb and didn't is the negative one. But they have two different level of stress. Didn't takes the higher stress. And it is something that we observe all through this statement. So let's read it. We didn't become the most prosperous country in the world just by rewarding greed and recklessness. We didn't come this far by letting the special interest run wild. We didn't do it just by gambling and chasing paper profits on Wall Street. We built this country by making things, by producing goods we could sell. Let's do it again. We didn't become the most prosperous country in the world just by rewarding greed and recklessness. We didn't come this far by letting the special interests run wild. We didn't do it just by gambling and chasing paper profit on Wall Street. We built this country by making things, by producing goods we could sell. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed this video.